Greetings YouTube! Good news! Sony have patched folders into the PS4. Bad news, they're shit. Oh! I mean, where do I begin? Well, I'll begin at the start, I suppose. That's a good place to start. First of all, you have to try and figure out where this folder system is, which I feel like shouldn't be a thing you have to do. Because if you select a game, press the start button or whatever we call this, is it options, whatever, that bloody button. You go up and down the list and no folder system here. So you think, well, is it in the storage system within the menu somewhere? So you go into games in your console storage, and eventually when it wakes up, no, you can move things to USB and delete it and whatnot, but no, it's not there either. So you think, well, maybe it's in the library. The library, of course. Why didn't I think of that before? So you go across to your library, you go down to your storage unit, you press the start button or whatever the hell it's called, and still can't find the fucker. And the only reason I know where it is because I read an article online telling me where it is. It shouldn't be this hard. You go to Game Library, yes, but then you get 3 options at the top. It's actually your collection you need to be in. And then it gives you a list of your games, and if you're very observant, but only if you're very observant, there's an extra icon right there which says Create Game List. So then you can select a game and say, add to game list, because they don't call them folders. I don't get it either. It's game list, they're not done confusing you just yet. So, you finally got this. You add some games to the list and it comes up with these. Comes up with a whole bunch of lists here, and I may have gone slightly overboard and created 11 of them just to see how good the system is. It's not at all because I'm obsessive compulsive. Now, this is where the trouble starts. Astonishingly, this is where it starts, okay? Because now you know where it is, it doesn't work all that well. Because, as it turns out, first of all, the folder system. You see it says fighting, RPG, shooter, story, puzzle, new, platformer, soul, survival, horror, strategy. I don't know whether you noticed, but those names are not in order. And there is no way of changing the order. They just appear in the order that you created them, the newest one on the left. So, Google up trying to find the folder that you want. Also, I feel like the folder is way too big. I mean, these game icons are pretty big on screen, so you can see the picture in all its glory, which I always felt was a bit unnecessary. They could do with downscaling a bit so you can see more on screen. But these show like 3 little tiny pictures of only the first 3 items, and it insists on telling you how many there are. I mean, why do I need to know that? Only a tiny bit of the folder is actually the name. Surely the name should clue me in as to what's inside the folder. I mean, I'm weird like that. I name the folder with a name that's relevant. So you can't reorder the folders, and in my opinion they're too big because you only get 3 on screen at a time. It's a little bit like picking a class at the beginning of Elden Ring. There's only 3 classes on screen. It's not until you scroll further to the right that you find out there are another 7. So it's a little bit like that. Next, as I say, you can't reorder the folders. You're stuck with them, and when you go into them, you may initially look at this game list and think, looks in order to me. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Seems in order. Yeah, we go across to a folder like this though, and this one is P, A, T, L, P, A, J. There's no way of reordering the games. The games go into the folder in the order you added them. Like the folders themselves. Oh boy. So it's fine, like if in this first folder you added them all together, because the game, you have to go to, if you want to add something to the folder, it gives you your game list in alphabetical order. And then, which is fine, but it doesn't do the same thing for the fucking folders. So you select them and you end up selecting them in alphabetical order. So they end up going into the folder in alphabetical order. But if you add them in any other way, it just adds them to the bottom. And then you've no goddamn clue. It's like, for example, if I want to find a game in this collection somewhere, I'm just going to pick something. Right, Returnal. Right, Returnal. Where have I put Returnal? Is it a horror game or a shooting game? I might have put it under both. That's one thing this folder system does that I like. You can put one game in multiple folders, because it's not really a folder system, it's more like a tagging system. So you can have them in more than one place, which is good. So, shooter, I guess. Except I don't know what order it's in, so I have to look through them all, and it's a massive, colourful picture, so I've got to look carefully to see if I can spot Returnal in amongst the mess. I'm struggling. Did I add it to shooters? I can't remember. Maybe I should have thought about this video before. Oh, there it is. It's okay. Everything's under control. It's there. Now, if I want to find Returnal in amongst my actual game list, all I have to do is sort it by alphabetical order and think to myself, gee, Returnal is an R, so it's got to be past. It's about 2/3 of the way down the list. So there's a little scroll bar at the side there that tells me roughly where I am. So I'm at S, so it must be a little bit higher. Oh, I went past it. There it is. Yeah. I mean, for me, that was easier. It was easier to just sort the list in alphabetical order and scroll roughly down to where I think that letter is. But it's just, you have to find this system buried in the menus because it doesn't appear anywhere else. And then the system itself doesn't let you reorder things. And the folders themselves are in a mismatch. I don't know about anyone else, but every computer I have ever owned has a folder system. By default, it is ordered by alphabetical order, so that you can, find shit. And even my phone orders things. I grant you, the gallery app, for some reason, orders things in the order that the image was made. But you can change it, you can force it into doing alphabetical order. It's a bit annoying, but you only have to do it once with every gallery. This won't let you do that. It's an organisational system that won't let you organise your shit properly. It's just a shit organisational system. It's just shit. I don't get it. I really don't. There's one folder I might keep a hold of though, and that's the new folder. These are just games that I've recently acquired. Except that one. That's just, I haven't put that disc in yet, but. Yeah, this is only useful to me because there's only 7 on the list, so I can't lose them. But the moment you get where is it, 55, and you start, most of these are actually in alphabetical order because I added them all at the same time, but, Chorus is first, and then Alan Wake is next. So if you start adding things later, then it fucks up the order, and then where's anything? I don't know. They didn't think about this. I appreciate the thought, but I can't find anything with it. It's easier for me to use the existing system. I shall stick with the new folder because that is actually helpful to me. I am aware, by the way, that there are several more updates that came as part of a package of updates. I think the console now supports 1440 resolution, and apparently now it's easier to link up with your friends to play the same game. People have been giving them praise for the update for that, which is fine. I mean, neither of those options are useful to me, but this folder system is shit, is my point. I think I've made that pretty clear. I just felt the need to go on a bit of a rant about it. Rant over. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe and share, all that jazz. See you next time.